Hi, everybody. My name is Kori, and I have the privilege of being able to teach Continuum. And I am in the middle of teaching a 4-week series called Fluid Life, Resourcing, and Resiliency. This is a virtual series. And in this series, we're talking about and feeling into experiencing our areas of support and looking at how we can resource into those areas. Also looking at resiliency in our own lives, in life as a whole. And it was sort of suggested or requested that maybe I share some more of this material in a bigger way beyond just the specific group that I'm working with right now. And so what I'm doing as an experiment is just taking excerpts of some of the pieces of our class time together before doing what we call a dive, which is a longer exploration. But I'm looking to maybe share some of the beginning pieces. So I usually lead people into a way of landing into the class. We have maybe a little bit of discussion, some tissue prep, which is essentially just waking up our body being, waking up our ability to sound, waking up our sensitivity, our ability to feel. And so for this first class, I had walked people through a way to land in our body, sort of a beginning, maybe a bit of a meditation, and then we have a little bit of discussion, and I lead the group into, again, what we call tissue prep. And in this form of tissue prep for today, we're looking at self-resourcing. So how can we pour love or healing or just sort of re-enfolding our love back into our own body being. So that's some of what I'm going to share with you today. Again, this is an excerpt from the virtual Continuum series that I'm teaching right now called Fluid Life, Resourcing, and Resiliency. And I hope that you can find some things that are useful for you in it and that you enjoy. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. All right, here it comes. As you're feeling ready, if you want to just let your gaze start to soften down either towards the ground or just close your eyes completely, just dropping inside for these first few moments. And letting yourself really begin to land in this space together today. This space of our own sacred creation that expands and surpasses physical space and time. This is our space as we name it so. And we begin to create this field within a field together. And I'm just taking a moment of open attention, seeing what's here for you right now. And take a moment to see if you can just notice that gravity is here with you, holding you to the planet, offering you security on her in this space, and that there's nothing that you need to do to actually feel the effects of gravity on you except notice. Notice that it's pulling you in close to Mother Earth right now. And now take another moment to see if you can just begin to open yourself to expand into this awareness that we are on a circular planet right now. And so just to feel into being held close to the entirety of the planet. Feeling the roundness, the bigness of the planet, and just noticing your place on the planet. And now beginning to take another moment to see if you can expand even further to notice that this beautiful big blue planet is also suspended in the universe, in space. And so just noticing your place, landing today in our field, on the planet, in all of the roundness of the planet there, and that planet that you are on in this moment of time is actually also suspended in space and the vastness of space. So just to notice that for a moment. And so now we're going to bring our focus back into our specific bodies. And I'm going to ask you to just begin to open to some aspects of experience in your life. And we're going to do our best to let these things come without clinging or having to figure them out, but to simply really trust that we're here together in this particular time and that what is relevant for today will come today. And so I'm going to ask you to just take a moment to feel what is right here, right now, that's supporting you in being able to be here in this class today. So the things or people, places, situation, circumstances, just letting those things kind of come like waves through your body, just letting them flow through. So one could be gravity, that you could be here in this space and time sitting. Another could be that you have an internet connection that works. Some could be the means. Whatever it is, just let it, just what's supporting you in being here today, letting yourself feel into that. And without questioning what comes, just letting it arise. And then in our next moment together, we're going to begin to notice the sources of support that you've had throughout your life. So to just let these memories or this knowing come through your system, your being, your consciousness in waves, just letting the awareness of these sources of support just sort of wash through your being, wash through your tissues. And so it could be the coming together of your parents. It could be something that supported you in an important choice in your life. It could be the ability to breathe or your beating heart. Whatever it is, whatever form it is, just let it wash through, ripple through your body being right now. So we're noticing the support that you've had in your life and just taking a little bit of time to resource into that, letting that nourish you, the knowingness nourish you. And now we're going to take another moment to just feel into, notice if there's any challenge that you feel in your awareness in this moment, either a challenge to being here, a challenge that's popping up in your life right now, any resistance, any challenge that's here. And we're just going to notice it. We're just going to witness it. So by just noticing, you begin to notice that both you and it can be here at the same time. Whatever the challenge is, it could be however teeny tiny or gigantically big. Just notice for a moment without getting wrapped up in the story, just witnessing. And now I'm going to have you take a moment to notice the places or recognize the places where you've had challenge throughout your life. Again, could be, it doesn't have to be the ultimate challenge, could be anything teeny tiny, really big, somewhere in between. But just notice these challenges that have flowed through your life, that have been a part of your life. Without resistance, our bones can't grow. Without challenge to our beliefs, then we never step out of the old paradigm that we're in. And so we're noticing. And then see if you can notice the places where meeting those challenges has shaped or formed some of the essence of who you are today. Just noticing what was an outcome of you actually meeting those challenges, those places. It could be that you learned how to do something a different way. It could be that you used your voice. It could be any number of things. Now, if this feels right for you, just to see if you can take a moment to either bless the challenge or offer a moment of gratitude, or even feel into the strength that has come through you in meeting this challenge. Just noticing how maybe your life has shifted. And in doing this, we begin to start to really recognize our own resiliency. Seeing how you've been shaped, the life that you have now recognizes your resiliency. And as we begin to recognize some of the gifts of the challenge, this reaffirms your resiliency. So just take the last moment or two to have a few breaths into the space that we've created together. So seeing if you can just sort of drop attention from some of those waves of things that we've recalled, that we've let move through our system, and just take a closing moment and open attention here. Noticing how your breath is moving through your body, the places of support that you're able to soften into, any movement that might be happening for you. And then as you feel ready, you can start to let your eyes begin to open and start to once again take in some of that space around you. Expand out to the sides and behind, and then out beyond the computer screen that we're sharing today. And then as you're ready, letting your eyes come back to our group. So that we can see each other. So before we share our names into the space, again, just hearing our first sound together, just wanted to name that I feel like it's really important for us to take, especially now, but to take some frequent dips into our sources of support so that we can have these things as resources to nourish ourselves, to help ourselves remember, to feel into the strength of our own system and the strength beyond, all the things that hold us and support us. And also being able to recognize our places of resiliency helps us to be able to then stretch into more and see more places of resiliency, not only in our own lives, but as a culture, and to really reach into those places. But I think we need to be able to resource first to be able to do that more effectively, and to do that in a way that it really comes from a place of support, a grounded place of our being, a place of nourishment. And then we get to see all those amazing sprouts of possibility in our lives with more light or radiance on them. I would love for us to start just a little tissue prep warm up with some sounding. Again, this is going to be another opportunity for us to resource within ourselves. So what we'll be doing is we'll be using the sound, the SH, luscious. We can play with variations of the lips. And we're going to take our hands and we're going to do, we're just going to essentially touch ourselves and pour the sh sound in. So you could start anywhere you want, anywhere you feel called on your body. And the idea is to kind of work your way through your body. But if you don't get to every piece, that's fine. We'll only have about 5 minutes to do this because it's just a little taste, just a little warm up. But I wanted to do this today. One is a reminder of a possibility for ourselves to self-resource, to pour our own nourishment, our own love, our own attention, our own healing, whatever you choose to put in through your sound, that you can do this with your body at any time. And I would recommend even a little bit each day, even if it's just for 3 minutes. But to really use this time to kind of enfold love or healing, or again, whatever support, regeneration, whatever it is you feel like you need, to offer that into your body through your hands and through your sound. And so if you're ready, we'll just dive in and begin together here. And I'll let you know when we have about a minute left. So anywhere you want to start, don't forget that your face, your ears, like all these little fingers, all these little options we have. What does it feel like to both be the giver and receiver simultaneously? So beginning to let the sound go and just let yourself have a moment or two of open attention here. Noticing what's here now. If there's any movement that wants to come, of course, let it. Okay. And starting to come back to the screen, and we'll talk about the dive. But as you're re-landing here, just want to add in a piece around having trust that our intention plants whatever it is that we're wanting. And not only for ourselves, but in our connection with the whole. It also, this exercise of self-care and self-love or healing or whatever it is you're planting in, is also a conduit and messenger for every other being that you interact with and every other being that you don't interact with, as it is caring for the whole. So to just acknowledge and remember that. And if there's days when it doesn't seem comfortable or feasible for you to do an act of self-love and self-care for yourself, to see if you can reach into doing it for the whole, and vice versa. On those days when it feels like all you want to do is care for or fix or be with the disruption or the dis-ease in the whole, that you can also do this through the self.